Hello, everyone. LJ Young back again. Just looks so just man. When they come to me, they just come to me. Well, today's is something that came to me. First, I'd like to start out with saying, my name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. So, what I do is help people get out of debt by showing you things that I couldn't see while deep in debt, compared to what I see today as a debt free man. It's like night and day. I always say money is spoken in two languages, debt and debt free. If you've always been in debt, you only know debt. You only know how to speak debt. And when you're debt free, you can speak both because usually you were in debt once before and now you're out and now you can see. That is really blinding. I should have brought some water. Sorry about that. Let me get this straight. So today's video is this kind of like to tell you the system, our economic system, demands respect. All right, once you understand it and once you understand how it works, to me, like I always say, it looks like a back of a ticking watch to me now. All the gears, they roll together. They all have a role. They all have a role. And the biggest gear of the whole puzzle is the IRS, and I will explain in a minute. But it has taught me to respect it. So, for example, like I said before, with the back of the ticking watch, this is why tax evasion. Now, mind you, the IRS is not this big bad evil entity. I don't want you to. It's people like you and I that work there, and all they're doing is enforcing the rules that have been told to them that they must enforce. So it's up to us to understand these rules. I don't care if we like them or not. Our feelings about the rules are totally irrelevant. Just understand the rules, okay? Don't worry about why and get mad about it. Where the rules come from, I don't know, okay? But I'm just saying in general, the rules. And so when I talk about them, I want you to understand I'm not saying talking bad about them. I don't think they're evil. I don't. All right. And that's not just like I'm doing a disclaimer on this video. I don't believe that they're an entity. All right. And so let's see, I want to make sure I stay on track with this because it's very important. What I do is respect that they enforce the system because if it didn't, if they allowed people to break the system, the break the rules, the whole economy would break. All right. So I am going to tell you a little story, but I want you guys to understand when I say you or people and it looks like I'm pointing towards you, right? When I'm talking about, I'm really looking at myself and kind of like upset at myself back then why I didn't see certain things. So I want you to understand, I'm not talking to you directly. I'm just looking at myself in the camera too as I'm talking to you. It's almost like I'm telling the story. So I don't want you to get offended. Even if I use a bad word, I want you to understand whenever you hear me, I don't use many bad words, cussing words, but when you hear one, I want you to understand it's coming from a personal inside anger at myself for not paying attention to my money when I was for the first 40 years of my life. That's it. Nothing towards you guys. Okay. I want you to understand it's something I feel inside that I want to bring out and express to you so you guys can feel what I'm telling you and saying to you after being out of debt. All right. So back to what I was saying about the IRS. They are the biggest gear in this whole puzzle and they demand respect. These rules have been here before you and I were ever born. You know, you got to understand that these rules been in place. You just ain't gonna be born and come here and thinking you're changing the rules. Because millions upon millions of people that don't understand the system think they're gonna somehow infiltrate the system and break it or whatever, right? But you got to understand if you don't understand the system and you're doing things that the best way I can say it is you're doing things that you don't, though you don't understand the system, so you're doing things that you think are slick or just a different way. It's not nothing new. I want you to understand what you're doing. If you don't understand the system, what you're not doing anything new. And they get millions upon millions of people practicing that because they don't understand the system. It's that simple. Okay, so let me give you an example. Now, this is my own opinion, and this makes sense to me because it makes mathematical sense to me, so I'm going to say it, right? So I'm not an IRS agent. I'm just saying my opinion. All right. If I was an IRS agent, this is how I would audit somebody. The purpose of why I would audit a person, right? Now, I want you to understand a credit report is nothing more than a management tool to see how, for the government or whoever, the IRS, to see how a person manages their money. That's it. It's no measurement of wealth or success or nothing. It's nothing of that. None of that. Believe me, it's none of that. It's just a way for the government, the system, to see how this person manages their money. Period. That's it. Nothing more than that. I want you to understand. And it says a lot. A person's credit report says more than I thought it was. When I was in debt, I thought it was just a measure of I can get credit. No, it's when you apply it towards the system. No, it's a measurement of how this person handles their finances. Period. All right. So let me give you an example. If I was an IRS agent, this is how I would choose a person to audit. Okay. Imagine I would find a person that's, say, like a person with horrible credit came into an MLM, multi-level marketing type of sales, right? And this person became successful in this business, okay? Now, I would watch that person, if I was an IRS agent, this is purely hypothetical, my opinion, I would watch that person to see what they're gonna do, all right? So usually people in debt only know debt, so they only do debt patterns. Debt has a pattern. People in debt have no idea they have a pattern, and you don't know it because you've always been in debt, right? So anyway, I would watch that person, see his income climb. But if his debt climbed with his income, I would audit him. And I'll tell you why. If his finances were horrible before he was making money, that tells me that he doesn't understand money. All right. So I would audit him. You know why? Because usually those MLM places, they make you're required to pay your own taxes and stuff, right? If his income was climbing and so was his debt, that means he's commingling these funds. I know he has no idea what money went where, how much, why, for what business expense. I already know he's not going to be doing that. Why? Because I knew it in the beginning because his finances were horrible. There's no way he's going to be horrible here and master his finances there. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So I'd audit him because I know for a fact he's messing up because he's not taking his money and paying his debt. So if the same person, say like the same person had horrible credit and came into the MLM, started making money, but as the income climbed, the person's debt was going down. I would say, okay, this person has a clue of how this works, right? And to audit that person probably wouldn't even be worth my time because if his debt is going down as his income is going up, he's paying attention. He understands that if he's in a negative, he got to get out of the negative. And now he got a big enough shovel to scoop himself out of it. But when you have the debt is a mentality, but when you have the debt mentality, it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter. The amount of money you make doesn't matter. You still will live paycheck to paycheck. And so back to the first scenario, if his income climbed and so did his debt, I know for a fact he's going to be paying me. He's going to be paying the IRS, not me. Paying the IRS a fee because and you saying I don't know or my CPA did it or whatever. No, you're disrespecting the system. You can't just and what I learned when I was in debt, I learned from TV about money. If you learned about your finances from TV, you're doing it wrong. This what I'm telling you right now is not taught. They don't teach this in schools. They don't. They kind of and don't be a and do not be offended what I'm about to say, okay? Because I'm dead serious. I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm dead serious. Don't be offended. If you do not mix your feelings and your money ever. That's my biggest lesson to tell you guys right now. Do not ever mix your feelings with your money. You will lose. Don't ever do that. I did it for many years, and now I can see what I was doing, and it was the dumbest thing ever. Damn, I got on that and I forgot what I was gonna say. Crap! I hate it when I do that. I hate it when I do that because I was on to something. But anyway, damn. All right, I'm sorry, you guys. I lost it. I jump all over the place with this. But your money and your finances must always remain in the black. If you keep your finances in the black, you will always win. Oh, I got it. It came back. All right. It came back. All right. I'm thinking. Okay. So don't be offended by this. All right. Don't be offended by this. The 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 math I learned in the sixth grade. You remember when we used to count money and add it up and it added this? That's all I needed to know regarding my finances. That's all I needed to know. And they taught me that in the sixth grade. And the reason why I remember sixth grade, because I remember having competitions, who could get it done the fastest and all this stuff. That's the only reason why I remember it. I used to always get gold stars, right? But, but I but I didn't apply that same gold star to my personal finances. Why I didn't do it, I have no idea. But I do now. It's conditioning. If you learned your finances from TV, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. If you think, if you see people with stuff like cars and houses and stuff, and you think they're rich because they have that stuff, you're in trouble because that's not true. That's facade. That's a trick. That's not real. I'm not saying that everybody that has stuff like that are not rich, but I want you to understand that most of the majority is fake. It's not real. You know why it's not real? Because when you have money, you really don't even have the desire to buy that kind of stuff. It would be, if I was a multimillionaire, it would still be hard for me to drop $300,000 on a car. I just, and the reason why I'm saying that, because now I'm debt free and I respect my money. I respect it totally. To drop that kind of money, the only reason why I would, if I ever bought something like that, I would buy it and put it on a show tour or something and let it be shown around and get money for it, by people wishing to have one and getting it and taking pictures next to it. I'll buy it then if it returning my money, but just to buy it, just to drive around and show everybody that, no, mm-mm. I ain't want anybody to know. I don't want to stand out like that. I don't. TV makes it seem like that, but you can't. You think about money totally different. You hear things totally different. Totally different. I know I'm way off the main subject, but last one. When Now that I'm debt free, I hear, like, if I'm watching a TV show, I can't take reality shows anymore because they're not reality, right? They make it seem like these people are rich on TV, but they say things that do not make any financial sense, right? I was watching one show. I don't know. There's so many of you guys. So I don't know. This woman on the show. She looked like she's rich, right? And she wasn't getting child support or something. And then she said, if this money doesn't come in, I won't be able to make my mortgage payment, right? She's like, I got mortgage payment, I got car payments and stuff like this. She's just rambling off, right? And I'm thinking to myself, if you're rich, what are you doing with mortgage payment and car payments? You're not even. If I was rich, I wouldn't have payments. I'd buy everything cash. Why would I have payments? That makes no sense. That's why it's a mentality thing. That's why it doesn't matter how much money you make. Respect the system. Take the time to understand the system. If you understand the system the way it's supposed to be understood, you will be well off, rich, wealthy, whatever you want to be. It doesn't matter. I kid you not. I kid you not. Get your finances in the black. Get them in the black, and you will see. It's simple as this. Add up all your debt. Use your own calculator. Use Google. I don't care. Take your feelings out of it. Remove your feelings out of your money. Take them out of your money. Add up all your debt. Look at that number. And right at that moment, right at that moment, you choose to believe your math or not. You can look at that number and say, you know what? I don't trust my math. I'm going this way. And remain in the debt matrix forever until you are dead. Or you can step right here and say, you know what? I believe my math. Let me go ahead and get out of this hole. Because this, my friends, this is real. This is real. This is money that you haven't even earned yet. And you're working right now. You haven't even earned this money yet. This money in your life is already allocated to somebody else, some other entity, whatever. You haven't even earned this money yet. And it's already gone. So your checks, they may look like, when you cash them, they may look like you have cash in your hand, but you don't. You just think you do. You know why? Because the system, respect the system. I have 100% respect for this. Respect this system. You respect it and understand the rules, you will be rich. And I'm not even rich yet. I'm not even wealthy yet, but I will be. Maybe people will know, maybe people won't know. Because it's not about the money. You don't chase the money. The money is just the lure. And when you're in debt, you think that's all it is. It's not. You guys have a good one. I'm headed to the gym. And have a wonderful Tuesday. All right. You guys have a good one.